Want to start building Shopify themes the right way? This is the exact setup that I use. It's fast, it's clean, and it's powerful. I'll show you how to use Cursor AI to build and update theme code in crazy speed, also how to use the Shopify CLI for the optimal local environment setup. And if you're wondering why you should copy this stack, I'll tell you. Quite simply, A, the Shopify admin code editor UI kind of sucks. B, hot module reloading is worth it alone. And C, a normal dev environment with AI and syntax highlighting prettier, linting formatter, everything you use a text editor for is so much better. You'll want to see this video if you're new to Shopify dev or just looking to see what the best tools you can use are. If you have any videos you'd like to see, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop me a comment. Without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to want to make sure you do is that you create a Shopify Partners account if you don't already have one. It's very easy and free to sign up. So just make sure you come to Shopify Partners and either sign up or log in. Okay, and now that I've signed in, you should be able to see something like this where you will have your different stores. If you don't have one, just make sure you add a store and you can just make it development. And you'll see I have several here. So you're going to make sure that you have a store set up so that you can actually pull the code. Otherwise, the Shopify CLI step won't work for you. But okay, so you have your Shopify Partners account. The next thing that we're going to install is Cursor. Cursor is an AI-powered text editor. So this is where we're actually going to write and edit and update our code. And it's amazing because it lets you use like prompts and ask it questions and just really cool stuff. So I'll get into that a little bit later, but just make sure you come to cursor.com and then download it for whatever operating system that you are running. And then this is a very optional step, but one I recommend is you are going to need to use your terminal or your command prompt, depending on what kind of computer you are using. But I've just found that I like this terminal because it's very pretty looking and does a good job, does like autocomplete. There's newer ones and I just haven't explored them quite yet, to be honest, that might be really good. They supposedly, have AI integrated as well. But for the most part, I've been very happy with Hyper.js. So if you feel like it, you can create this, or excuse me, you can download this as well. And then we're going to make sure that we have the Shopify CLI. So I'm going to show you how to install this in just a moment, but first let's take a look at these tools that I've just talked about. Okay, so here is Hyper. This is the terminal that I was talking about. If you didn't want to install Hyper, then you can simply just open up terminal is there by default. And I think if you're on a Windows machine, it's called command prompt, but you should be able to install that. And then the next thing we're going to look at is Cursor. So let me just open up a Cursor project. Okay, so I've opened up this is actually an app, but this is just to show you kind of like what the Cursor editor looks like and why it's really cool. So you'll see if you're familiar with any, code editors, probably like VS Code is kind of the most popular one. This is basically the exact same thing. It just has AI like integrated into it in every way possible, which makes it really cool. Like I can come into any file and I can ask it to do things for me and change this, and it will go ahead and do it to the best of its ability. I can also like highlight code and I can hit Command L and I can ask it questions like, what is this file actually doing? And then you can submit these things and it's just really cool. I should have said the first thing I was Command K. That's how you ask about selected code in here. And then for like longer form answers and Q&A, you can use Command L to open this side chat. There's also a few other things that you can do with it, but that's pretty much what I use like 90% of the time. And it also has like this cool feature where you go into a file and it will like, you'll see that it's suggesting if I hit tab, it will add this to it. So I can hit tab. So I don't know what you call that, but like smart tabbing. So it'll help you write code, kind of knows what you're thinking, honestly, and you can hit tab and it'll complete it for you. So that's pretty cool, but let's make sure that we get our things set up properly. So let's come back to our terminal, whichever one that you're using. And then again, make sure that you have logged into your Shopify partner account. And now we need to install this Shopify CLI. So you're gonna have to make sure you have Node installed. So if you don't have that, you can tell really quick. If you come in and you hit Node-V, you'll see I have Node version 21 installed. If you don't, that's okay. Just go to install Node on Mac or on Windows. And if you do that, you should be able to follow these steps, download it, and you'll always know that it's installed when you go like this, Node V, and it should give you a version. If it says error, don't know what you're talking about, then it is not installed correctly. But once you have that installed, you can now install this Shopify CLI package using NPM. So I'm going to come right here and I'm going to do this. Cool. So that has successfully installed. And then I can make sure it did because I can go Shopify version, and you'll see it gives me 3812. So again, when it gives you the version, you know it's installed correctly. Otherwise, you are missing a step somewhere. So just do your best to Google or ask like GPT or something to help you troubleshoot that. But hopefully you get to this point without any hiccups. All right, so now that we have successfully installed the Shopify CLI, what we're gonna do is make sure we log in to our store. Now, just a pro tip, whatever folder directory you're in is where you're gonna actually create this structure. Now I can run whatever it is that I want to from the CLI. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I'm actually signed in. So if I do Shopify theme info, you can see that I am signed in to this account, this test account. So I'm gonna try to log out so that I can be on the same page as you guys. So that's how you log out, Shopify theme log out or Shopify theme auth log out. And now I'm going to start from probably where you are if you're doing a fresh install. I'm gonna say Shopify theme info, and it should prompt me to log in. Yeah, so when you see this, all this is gonna do is I'm gonna push any key, and it's gonna, you can't see it, it's on my other window, but it's gonna open up the Shopify partner dashboard like on your web browser, and then it's just gonna make you log in. And then after I successfully log in, it's gonna say, okay, cool, like you can go back to your terminal after it does its two-factor auth. All right, cool. So finally that finished, and you can see now I'm logged in and it's assigned me to this store by default. So I don't know if it's because that's the last store I was logged into or what, but let's just pretend that I want to log into a different one. So currently I'm in this store right here, but let's just say I want to change to this store. I know it's kind of confusing because they're all like my name, but hopefully this will work. So I should be able to do Shopify theme info, and then I should be able to pass it like that. Oh, and apparently I don't have permissions on that theme for some reason. So let me come back and try a different theme. Okay, cool. So this is a good sign because it's asking for permissions again. You'll see all you have to do is Shopify theme-info, and really you can do any of these Shopify CLI commands, and you just have to pass in the name of the store that you're trying to log into. So I'm gonna do this, make sure that I log in correctly. All right, cool. So now it should work. And now I can take a look, and you'll see it does confirm it right here that I am on this store now. I wish there was like a better way to do that. I wish there was a command and you could see all the stores, but unfortunately, as I understand it, you have to actually put in the name of the store every time, which kind of lame, but whatever. So I'm gonna do Shopify theme list, and this is gonna show me a list of all of the different themes on this store. Okay, so you can see it does this nice little list here, so you can make sure you're on the right one, see all your options, whatever. I'm actually gonna change back to the previous store I was on. I just wanted to show you guys how to actually do that because that was something I kind of struggled with at first. Now I'm gonna come back to this one. I'm gonna say -- store equals, and then I'm gonna put in this other name, cool. And now I'm in the correct one. Let me make sure. I'll do Shopify theme list. It's gonna list out all of these. Cool, that is the correct store that I wanna be in. So now what I wanna do is I wanna actually get the code for one of these themes in my local environment, okay? So all you have to do is go Shopify theme pull, okay? Now what this is gonna do is it's gonna say, okay, it's gonna give you the list of the themes that you can pull from and have on your local machine. Right now it's saying, hey, you don't have any theme directory, like you're not in one right now. And I'm saying, yeah, that's okay, because I'm gonna download the whole thing. So actually, rather than do this, I'm gonna go into this store and I'm going to create a new theme so that I can show you how to connect to this exactly. So I'll come here to online store themes. All right, so I've created this new theme called use from Shopify CLI. So hopefully we don't screw this up. Now I'm gonna go Shopify theme pull. It's gonna say, hey, you're not in a theme directory. And I'm like, yeah, that's okay. And then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna find this one. So it's at the very, very bottom, use from Shopify CLI. All right, so you'll see it's downloading the files from the remote theme. And now there's a couple things I can do. So now I have this in my on my local machine. All right, I made a quick mistake. I added this to its own individual directory, so now there will be no other folders in it. But I ran Shopify theme poll and I selected that theme that I wanted to use. So now what I can do is I can actually open this by doing cursor and then space and dot. And it's gonna go ahead and open this directory in cursor. So now I have everything that I need to edit this code and do whatever I want, which is pretty awesome. But that doesn't really do us any good unless we can see these changes we're making, right? So to do that, it's really easy. All you gotta do is Shopify theme dev. All right, and this is what we wanna see. You'll see that it gives us a link to preview the theme, and it also gives us these other links down here. So let me show you what they do. If I click on this, you'll see it has this weird URL. That is just the port on my computer that it's running this from. So this is not running like on Shopify's admin or anything like this. This is just my local machine, and it's running from this port. But equally important, you will see that there's a couple other links right here. The one I want to point to you is this second one. And the reason this is important is because this gives you the preview for the theme editor, which I use all the time because I'm creating editing sections, for example, and then you can preview it right here and actually see that these changes are refreshed or are updated. So let's go ahead and test this out and see a little bit why this is so important to do this locally. If I open up my theme, if I go to my templates, and you'll see I have all my directories here, and I can go to index, and this is going to be the home page template that's being used, right? And then what I can do is look at the different sections that we're referencing here. So here's one at the very top, the image banner section. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to go to this very busy file, and I'm just going to add an H1 here that says hello world. So you'll see that I saved it, and if I come back, I do not see it. Maybe I need to move it up. All right, there we go. That's what I wanted to see. So you'll see that every change I make is now shown, and it's using hot reloading. So this, I don't have to refresh anything. So you see I've added a Z here. I'm gonna hit Command S to save. And then if I come back, I didn't refresh or anything, and you'll see that my changes are updated. So this is pretty cool. It makes developing a lot faster because when we use the theme editor within the browser, you have to click save and then you have to go to the preview and refresh. It's not horrible, but this is just a way smoother, like way better workflow. And anytime you can work within a code editor instead of the Shopify admin code editor, you're going to be a lot happier. All right, so let's just pretend for some reason that I am very thrilled with this change, and now I want to put it up on my store. How do I do that, right? Because this is local. So if I come to this file on the browser, you're going to see it does not exist, okay? So I'll prove it to you. I'll come in here, and I will open up the image banner section. And if I scroll down, you'll see my code is not there. So how do we get this there? Well, really easy. It's going to be very similar to what we already did. I'm going to close this by hitting Command C. I'm going to say Shopify theme push. Then it's going to ask me, hey, which theme do you want to push this to? So you got to be careful because you can accidentally override other themes that you don't mean to. So I will add use from Shopify CLI, click enter, and then you'll see that it does this magic where it's now pushing it up to the remote. And now if we come here to the admin, I'm going to refresh this page, and then I'm going to go back into this code in this theme, look in image banner, scroll down, and ta-da, just like that, you'll see our code is there. So this is working as expected. And it's a good habit I found to just make sure that you push whenever your changes where you're happy with where they are, to push it there so it's not all contained to your local environment as well. A couple other things that I find very helpful are going to be these Shopify extensions. So if you come into your cursor, you can come to here and go to settings, and then we're going to look at extensions, and you can look at some of these extensions. If you just search Shopify, you're going to see that there's several. So I definitely recommend adding some of these. Like I've added, let's see, I've got these 3 installed, it looks like. And it's just very helpful because it's going to highlight and point out when you do things wrong. Like not when you necessarily do things just wrong, but just poor syntax when it doesn't look very good. Like if I was to output a variable here, and let's say I did too many, too many settings, it gives us this syntax highlighting. So it's saying like, hey, this does not look good, just so you know. And then there's another step. This is kind of a bonus tip that you can use if you would like, and that is going to be setting up theme check. Now, theme check is pretty cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to my terminal window here, and I'm going to go ahead and paste this in, and you'll see it's Shopify theme check dash dash init. And after I click enter, you're going to see it's created this theme check YML file. So what that is I can open it here, and you'll see it's at the very bottom at the root of this directory, and it's basically just these rules for that our theme is going to check for, make sure we don't screw up things like syntax and whatnot. And you can actually run it if you come to your terminal. You can run Shopify theme check, and what it's going to do is it's going to run through the entire code base, and it's going to check against these rules and look for any funny business and see if things are broken. So you'll see like 188 files were inspected, so 42 total offenses, 32 errors, 10 warnings. So this gives you a lot of good information so that you can come in and make sure your code is looking very clean. So that's a pro tip that I find very helpful as well. So in quick review, I highly recommend using Cursor as your code editor instead of working within the admin whenever you have the opportunity. And of course, highly recommend getting used to the Shopify CLI. It can seem intimidating at first, but really it's quite simple. I literally use like 3 commands for everything. I use Shopify theme info. I use Shopify theme list when I want to see, so this is when I want to see what store I'm in. I use Shopify theme list to look at all the themes that I have. And then if you need to run it, you can run Shopify theme dev. And then you can literally switch to any store by running pretty much any command and just doing store and then pasting in the name of the store right here, and you will switch stores. So it's incredibly easy. Highly recommend it. I hope this video has been helpful. This is the exact workflow that I use in my local environment. And if you have any questions, let me know, and I will see you next time.